What is up, everybody? King Ralliant here with another hopefully and helpful video to tell you not only the best way to farm and build your Trickster, but how to do it with a green. How is this possible, you may ask? Well, that's the power of the Trickster. So let's get into it. First, the build itself. The only required skill for this build is Twisted Rounds, which increases your firepower by 111 for your current weapon's magazine. On top of that, you are changing your shots from physical to anomalous, which is essentially just magic damage. Other skills are dependent on what gear mod combos you possess outside of the required helmet chest mod that I will discuss here shortly. I personally recommend using Temporal Blade with the boot mod Double Stop, which increases the duration of the inflicted paralysis by 100%. For the third, Hunt the Prey if you have a Backstabber mod with Firepower combo or Slow Trap to assist hitting the head, especially if you're using a semi-auto firing weapon. More on this later. But aside from Twisted Rounds, it is a complete personal preference and up to you which one you decide to go with. But most importantly, you without a doubt should hit that like button and click subscribe because you're an absolute legend, and I wouldn't be a Trickster main if I didn't squeeze that in there. Now for some gear optimization. Starting off with the stat, I have tried both Anomaly and Firepower builds. At this point, and can say with confidence, stack that firepower. This is by no means an exact calculated number, but I saw around a 20% increase in damage when using Firepower over Anomaly. However, I do feel Anomaly will have a focus in certain builds for the Trickster when the game goes live. But for right now, the damage output of your weapon is a lot more focused, and using Firepower reflects that. For this build, we just need two mods specifically to really bump up that damage as high as possible. This stacked on top of straight Firepower makes the damage output insane. Mod number 1, Twisted Fate. This mod you'll find in your helmet slot. This grants you 30% critical damage bonus while Twisted Rounds is active. Mod number 2, Anomalic Caliber, which you'll find in your chest slot, and this grants you 30% resistance piercing bonus while Twisted Rounds skill is active. Now I know this wording can be a bit confusing, so let me explain it. Resistance pierce equals pierce on anomalous, i.e. magic damage resistance. Meaning, when we apply this buff, it helps bypass that anomalous / magic resistance the enemy would have. Make sense? The remaining gear slots, pants, and feet are yours to experiment with. As mentioned in the skills portion of the video, I use Double Stop on the feet slot, and the pants slot is normally just whatever has highest rolls. Now the weapons. The part that motivated me to make this whole video, which actually happened by mistake because one of my Twitch viewers trolled me and said use a revolver for 15 minutes, and I did, and I was like, wow, this is actually just as fast and still just as strong. That said, that proves my point. You do not need a legendary to farm fast with this build. In fact, after timing multiple runs using a legendary and a non-legendary, they came out to be the same time, give or take a second depending on the legendary. Thus, the beauty of Trickster and that high damage burst. That said though, you will need either a revolver or an auto pump shotgun. From the video you've been hopefully watching, you will see me delete the captain and both marksmen with one mag of the auto pump. Just make sure you're hitting the head, which should be made easier by being close. Remember when I was mentioning the part about in the skills about slow trap and semi-auto firing weapons? This is why. So if you want to go all Wild West on this captain, you can with that uncommon green 6-shooter, but you'll want the help of your slow trap because each shot counts. Pop in those Twisted Rounds, drop that slow trap, and profit. Now you're a sci-fi cowboy. Giddy up, partner. As far as the future builds of Trickster goes, I personally think these high crit damage, high burst builds focused around firepower and the weapons are going to be the meta. Especially when we get into expeditions where Trickster's primary target will be that of elites and armored units, leaving anomaly AoE builds to the Devastator and the Pyro. Granted, that's my own speculation and opinion of what's to come. I could be dead wrong. We do see some damage potential from Temporal Blade, as well as a few interesting prospects for AoE coming from Cyclone Slice and the skills we have yet to be able to unlock. That's the beauty of this game though. Each class at its core has a foundation it's built upon that gives us what its primary strength is, but with the potential to shift that strength in a viable way. If you all found a better way to play the Trickster currently, or just have different thoughts on the future of Trickster, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, as I'm looking very much so forward to playing this as my main come the release in April 1st. But before we end it, I do just want to remind you that I do stream 5 days a week, link down in the description below. Also, if you have found this video helpful in any way, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and hit the tiny little bell. If not, go ahead and do it anyways because you're an awesome person. But that's about all the time I have until the next video. Until next time, you stay lovely, you beautiful legends.